Hello again, welcome to today's attempt of a Diffle puzzle. This is Wordle, but we don't know how long the word is. I like to start with a word that's got all the vowels in, and I've had some joy going for delusional as a starting guess recently. Let's test it again today, and let's see if that trend continues. Wow, we've got loads of information. We've got 5 letters correct already, the yellow and green ones. You can see U, S and N are green, that means they appear in the word in that order. And also the U and the S are not consecutive, otherwise they'd be joined together. We've also got a yellow E and a yellow A. That means they appear in the word, but they're not in the right place. So for the E, that means it has to be somewhere after the U, but we don't know where. And for the A, it means it has to be somewhere before the N, but we don't know where. So, what does that tell us? What is going to go between the U and the S for a start? Not sure the U is likely to be the first letter, so we need something earlier. Amusement would be a great guess, except for the fact that the US can't be consecutive. So what is going to go in there is the real question. Because, I mean, a QUA beginning? But then what would we do with the E? This might be one where it takes me ages to think of a valid word, but as soon as I do, it turns out to be correct. Or it might just be one where it takes me ages to think of a word, and I eventually give up and go for something that can't be correct just to give myself some more information. ANCE is a plausible ending, isn't it? Nuisance would almost have worked. SANCE is a plausible ending as well. We can duplicate the U, S and N, of course, and the E and the A, actually, as long as they're not in those positions. I think we're going to have something U, something SANCE. There might be other somethings in there as well. That does use all of the letters that I've got. So that is a good start. Nuisance would work ever so well if I hadn't ruled out the I. Is there a similar word to nuisance? Sundance almost works, except the S and the U are in the wrong places. Bursance, mercence, persance. I'm thinking of perchance, I think. That doesn't have an S in it. Everything I think of doesn't quite work. So well done if you've managed to think of something plausible at this stage. Of course, there's no guarantee it's anywhere near that pattern of letters. That's the other problem. AU is a plausible sequence of letters, like augment. Then we would have to use the S. And it could still be an MENT ending, as I was originally thinking. Causement. Don't think that's a word. Ambushment. Oh no, it can't even be ambush, that's the problem. This whole pattern has to be wrong because there has to be something in there. That makes it less likely, I think, that it's a U and an AU. It still could be UA, of course. Then we would only have to use the E and the N. Or it could be N and E, of course. But I'm not sure this is helpful. I'm not sure I'm getting any closer to the answer here. I might kick myself if it turns out to be something similar to what I've been thinking. We could have a U at the start if it's a UN, because we can have a duplicated N, as I said. Unsane is not a word, is it? Not in word list. I didn't think so. I suppose we could just go for... Oh, it can't even be unscanned. That's what I was about to go for, because we can't use the D. Is there anything that's an un-word that doesn't end in a D? Unscathed, everything seems to use a D. Unsent. No, because then that doesn't use the A. Oh, that's frustrating. Un. Unassent. That's just not a word either, is it? No. Ha. At this point, I really should just go for a word that is definitely not correct. But I'm stubborn. I want to get it in too. And... oh, I just really don't like going for things that are not correct. We do have to use a duplicated N if it is going to be an un beginning, because remember there has to be an S before the N, because they're green. Something AU, something S. And then an E and an N somewhere. Just doesn't look promising, does it? Ambushmen is just not a word. Just like ambushment was not a word. Oh, and it also couldn't be correct because of this US sequence. Ambursant. Something like that could be plausible. No, I don't know. What's going to give myself the most information then? Let's just try amusement. It's clearly not correct for several reasons. Well, actually, the US being consecutive is the only reason. Let's hope that this gives me enough information to get it right on my next guess. Oh, wow. Okay, so the A is not before the U. So we've got a U, then we've got something, then we've got an S. Then we've got an N. The N has to be before the E, because you see it was green in the first row and yellow in the second. We've got a T there somewhere as well, and then the E. In fact, let's get rid of the T. We've got to fit the A and the U in there somewhere. Huh. Something U-T S-A-N-E? That almost looks like a word. Oh, it didn't help. I should have gone for something that would give myself even more information. Turncase, is that a word? It's not. What am I thinking of? There's definitely something similar to that. Turn-base? Let's just go for turntable. Let's just test if I'm getting close at all. Okay. We've got a TA rather. We do have the U. Sorry, we do have the B. So I think we've got to have something before the S. Then we've got to have an N. The E is definitely the last letter because it's got a hard border. You can see it's not a circle anymore. Oh, substance is going to be the word, isn't it? The B is after the U, which means that we can have the S before the TA. Oh, that was quite a common word. I just did not think of the sub beginning, did I? I think I had the ANCE ending a while ago. I just didn't get the right prefix. That's frustrating. Thank you if you stuck with me to the end. Well done if you thought of that way before I did. It's a common enough word that it was definitely gettable. My brain was just not thinking of the right substance today, but we solved it eventually. Could have been worse, I suppose. That is Diffle. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.